These weren't the Marvel Legends I was looking for, but I still decided to pick them up because they looked pretty decent. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of ELTillman's Toys, where today we are looking at the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Homecoming 2-pack 3 3/4 inch figures with Vulture and Spidey. Let's get started. The figures came in the Marvel Legends 2-pack style packaging, with the original Spider-Man Homecoming logo on the front, along with a pose of Spidey getting ready to web swing on the corner, and the exact same two pictures of him swinging on the sides. On the back it shows the figures and a little read-up on Spider-Man Homecoming. I suggest pausing the video now if you want to read it. Alrighty, now let's get these figures out of the packaging. So here's the figures out of the packaging, and I gotta say, although I'm not a huge fan of the 3 3/4 inch figures, these figures are pretty solid looking figures. Not yet having the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Homecoming Spidey figure, and only having the Civil War Marvel Legends Spider-Man, which is not movie accurate at all, this Spider-Man is the most movie accurate Spider-Man figure that I have. As for the Vulture, not so much a movie accurate figure. Especially the helmet, it's got this Master Chief Halo kind of look to it. But I am willing to look past it because from the neck down, the figure is pretty badass, especially this jacket. I love this jacket. Articulation on these 3 3/4 inch figures are almost always the weakest point, and these figures are sadly no exception. Vulture's wings can pop off from the back. They came in the package like that. And it's cool because you can move the wings up and down. Or you could also use them as a batarang. Get it? The batarang. Because Vulture's played by Michael Keaton. Ah, you get it. The Vulture figure can look up about that far and down about that far. And it can be fully rotated around. The arms go up about that far, and can also be fully rotated around. It bends at the elbow at about 90 degrees. Sadly, there is no torso articulation on Vulture. The leg can kick up about that far, and back just a little bit. He does have double jointed knees, and pretty good ankle pivot. Articulation on the webhead is slightly better. He looks up pretty good, and down pretty good. And it can also be fully rotated around. Arms are similar to Vulture, bending up about that far, with also being fully rotated around, and the elbow bending at 90 degrees. Sadly, none of these figures have wrist articulation, but Spidey does have some pretty good torso pivot that can be fully rotated around. He doesn't really have a wide split, but he can kick up pretty good, and back just a little bit. He does have double jointed knees like Vulture, and some pretty good ankle pivot. Comparing Spider-Man to my other 3 3/4 inch Spidey figures, here he is with the Classic Spidey, Amazing Spider-Man 1, and Amazing Spider-Man 2 alongside Homecoming. Well, isn't that ironic? The Amazing Spider-Man 2 figure just flopped right on its face. Kinda like the movie, which I enjoyed. So like I said in the beginning of this video, not being a huge fan of 3 3/4 inch figures, these are still pretty solid, and I only paid about 20 bucks for these at my local Target, so I would recommend picking them up for any Spidey fan out there. And on that note, I say, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for this edition of ELTillman's Toys, where we looked at the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Homecoming 3 3/4 inch 2-pack Spider-Man and Vulture figures. Man, that's a mouthful. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And until next time, I'm ELTillman of the ELT Network, signing out.
Quick question of the rhetorical variety. That's you, right?
No. What do you mean?
Look at you go. Got mad skills.
That's all on YouTube though, right? I mean, that's where you found that. Because you know that's all fake. It's all done on the computer.